This week on Nation's Business, we bring to you the highlights of the Prime Minister, Honorable Rear Admiral Warange Bainimarama's visit to Benua Levu. The Prime Minister's tour saw the welcoming of more development across the North's rural frontiers, growing of northern businesses, empowering of hard-working women, and harnessing nature in our campaign to build climate resilience. First, we will bring to you the highlights of the opening of 2 new Bua Provincial Council quarters.
Tunggal Maritime.
Wonderful to be back in the North as we continue to steadily bridge the gap of service delivery between our northern communities and the towns and cities of Levu. Starting today in Bua, we are officially opening a new nearly $180,000 provincial council staff quarters.
Government believes that investments made in the physical security and comfort of its frontline officials are direct investments in the well-being of the citizens they serve. Prime Minister Rear Admiral Warange Bainimarama says by ensuring proper resource with clean, safe and comfortable living for provincial officers, it allows the officials to focus fully on their duties to the Fijian people. It also attracts talented women and men to these positions over the long term, especially across the more rural frontiers.
I understand these new quarters were requested by officials in the area, and I'm proud to see this promise delivered. But these new quarters also come with new expectations, and I expect to see an immediate step up in the level of services provided by the officers of the Bua Provincial Council.
Fijians in communities across Bua count on the officials stationed at this office to help them tap the vast potential that lies in their land, harness their willingness to work hard for achievable rewards, and lead this province into a new era of development.
Every official serving this province must become stronger advocates for the vast opportunities my government has made available to the Fijian people, including our land-owning communities. These opportunities are only made possible through our Fijian Constitution, which establishes for the first time ever permanent and unwavering protection of Itauke land ownership. No exceptions and no excuses.
The construction of the 2 new Bua provincial quarters was done within 12 weeks by the Ministry of Works, with 2 bedrooms in each quarters with a washroom and restroom, both located inside, the quarters will certainly give an extra hour of quality sleep for the officials.
For any country, the development of infrastructure is always critical, and as we've come through today, we saw the Prime Minister open the quarters in Mbua for the provincial office staff. That was actually built by the Department of Works, by our team in Lambasa. So we've still maintained those skills, and they were showing through that particular project that they're able to build quarters at a very, very good cost. For a lot cheaper and at excellent quality, so I was glad to see that.
In celebrating the new quarters, the Honorable Prime Minister urged the provincial office staff not to let this investment go to waste.
Again, this is an opportunity for the Honorable Prime Minister and members of Cabinet and the senior government officials to touch base and be updated with the current developments that are happening, particularly in rural Fiji. The intentions of government has been very clear from the very beginning that development programs are all-inclusive, and we want to ensure that no one is left behind.
In this segment, we will see the continuous effort by the Fijian government in bolstering Fiji's domestic rice industry and the agro-economy as a whole through targeted assistance to farmers all throughout Fiji. To get there, the Fijian government need to tap into new innovations and explore new ways of serving the vital agriculture sector, and the hard-working farmers are no exception. In boosting Fiji's domestic rice industry, the Prime Minister opened a new Fiji Rice Limited or FRL office building. This new office will ensure FRL is well equipped to keeping its documents in order and have a proper boardroom for hosting meetings with stakeholders.
Over the past few years, we've given rice farmers in Reketi new trucks, tractors, and an excavator. And I'm told your government-funded warehouse is also nearing completion. But we're dedicated to improving every part of our farmers' lives. And we know that for the farmers surrounding Reketi, your time and labor was not limited to the rice paddy.
Previously, farmers had to travel all the way to the office in Lambasa simply to pick up their checks. But with this new Reketi FRL office, those days of entire day's journey will be a thing of the past.
I hear that the FRL is also encouraging farmers to open personal bank accounts as they expect to be able to deposit payouts directly into farmers' accounts to take advantage of a new and more modern FRL.
Fiji Rice Limited also plans to upgrade its IT system in the near future to link it directly with its head office in Lambasa. This will enable FRL to take another step into the future and continue to build on its current progress.
As you can see on full display today, your government is committed to FRL's success and, more importantly, the success of our rice farmers. So as we look to the future, we will continue to support FRL in its ultimate goal of making Fiji rice production self-sufficient in the years to come. Because there's no reason that the journey rice takes from seed to harvest, to meal, to our kitchen and restaurants can all happen right here in Fiji. And that journey, my friends, starts in Deketi.
The Tui Moduata, Ratu William Katonibere, speaking on behalf of the farmers, acknowledged the continued effort put in by government in strengthening the agroeconomy in Vunulevu.
Vunulevu would be the best agriculture supplier in Fiji in the years to come. Saying that because I know the western side are focused on tourism. The maritime islands are very they are into their marine resources for supplying of the marine products. But I feel Vunulevu, with the government support, I think we will raise the bar in producing the best quality agriculture product to supply to the world today. And we are so honored and privileged to have you here, sir. I know this is after 2 years. We're just wishing that you would be on the third, and then maybe another good thing that the Prime Minister would supply us with the Minister of Agriculture, other new products to introduce to Vunulevu.
The Fijian Prime Minister was also at Vunibau in the province of Mbua, where he handed over a new $60,000 combined rice harvester that will instantly uplift the lives of the rice farmers who have long manually toiled the fields. Despite the nation reeling from the global economic impact of COVID-19 when it comes to continuing the national development, the People's Prime Minister says government will not rest.
We're dedicated to building on the progress that we've achieved together, investing in our communities from the ground up. By giving Fijians the tools they need, they can overcome any obstacles. So today, we're happy to be handing over one very big machine indeed in the form of a new $60,000 rice harvester.
Prime Minister Bainimarama says government is focused on taking this crop into the future by creating a more modern, mechanized rice farming industry and uplifting the quality of farmers' lives in the process. For farmers like Deep Narayan, the new combined rice harvester will cut down on labor and cost of growing rice and allow them to grow crops with high yields without worrying about physically toiling to reap the benefits.
Before we were harvesting with the seagulls, we have to cut. About 1 acre, we have to use about 5 or 6 people to harvest in one 1 acre in 3 days. And now, by this machine, we just harvest in 2 hours. It's more difference in between these.
65-year-old Deep Narayan, who lives in Vunibau, Mbua, has been a rice farmer since dropping out of school during his teenage years.
I started in 1970. 1970, I started planting rice. I left my school in 1969, and from 70 I started my...
Life comes with a lot of struggles, especially when it involves hard work and sacrifice.
Before, when I started my farming, it was we have to think of our plow, our bullocks, and that was our challenging before. And nowadays, I am very happy with this government. Supplied for the power tillers to our village, and I'm very happy with the agriculture department also, and also the drainage board. I'm happy with him too.
In this segment, Nation's Business will bring to you the highlights of a range of new projects that are bringing Vunulevu into the fold of Fiji's economic development. The Honorable Prime Minister also visited Ravi Ravi village in the province of Maduwata to celebrate what he calls the exceptional hardworking spirit of the women of Ravi Ravi. Here, the Prime Minister handed over a check of over $20,000 to the Navatundua Women's Mabe Group, the payment for half pearls or Mabe, which they have sold from a recent harvest.
The Fijian-made products that you have helped design and promote through the Navatundua Women's Club Community Spread Collection Program are spread far and wide throughout the world as tourists taken home little pieces of Fiji with them. The pearl oyster shells that you've certainly grown, the carefully grown, and the mabe that you've carefully cultivated have been crafted into beautiful tokens that represent the untapped potential of Fiji.
The Navatundua Women's Group was first established in 2013 and ventured into pearl farming, which was damaged by Cyclone Thomas. In 2016, the Women's Group began with Mabe or half pearl production. Through their willingness, confidence, and passion, it has been a resounding success.
Ministry of Fisheries, batakirto na ACAIR, merto solia mabiketo na neto spet collectors, kana lawani lubena, meke me bukeketo, meketo tawia butakatalakina, meketo sadili bakana mabe, sena half pearl. Keto tawia butakamana rona undolutin katolu, ena rona undolutin kavitu, keto sa mai tawdakina na mataini neto harvest. Kito ndina niya sengan leusar na mela sena hapol kito rawata ngakine walu sanga bulkaono na pis na lebni lab kito tarakina itol na undol wal na ndrau.
The Mabe culture may be one of the best opportunities for business development in many of the country's more isolated island areas.
Menangaw na ya, medab mena rona undolur sangabulu, kito sangay may harvest takatalengo na wili sarangani mabele kito rawata kina, bitu nan raw tol sangabul kalima na mabe. Kwa kito sama kito bakaw tangana A grade, me voltaki bakaw tangana nito turanga kwa bibu kito maybe kito parneski store.
The Fijian Prime Minister hopes the success of the Navatundua Women's Club serves as an inspiration for others all throughout Fiji, knowing that they too can turn big ideas into stories like Ravi Ravi's.
I'm happy to state that my government, through the Ministry of Fisheries, allocates $250,000 annually through the Pearl Oyster Development Project to empower ordinary Fijians to develop these ideas into reality. I'd like to thank the Ministry of Fisheries and the Australian Centre for International Agricultural Research for believing in you like I have and helping you tap into your true potential, and to all those who offered you support along the way, from your families to the local businesses who buy your products.
From Ravi Ravi, we take you to the Fiji Coconut Millers Private Limited in Savu, where the Fijian Prime Minister unveiled the company's latest product, edible coconut oil. The Fiji coconut cooking oil is cold-pressed cooking oil being brought back into our kitchens for its proven health benefits. In supporting the production of the edible coconut oil, the Fijian government also made an investment into the milling machine.
And along this new product, we're proudly welcoming a $386,000 investment into its production, because $250,000 of which is supplied directly by your government. Our people's health will certainly benefit from the addition of healthy fats like coconut oil, rather than highly processed oil and other foods. But I want Fiji Coconut Millers Limited and our farmers here today to think even bigger about the possibility of this new product and the potential of your new brand.
Prime Minister Bainimarama says the launching of the edible coconut oil should make Fiji more ambitious and look into the possibility of venturing into marketing other new coconut products.
We must get ambitious about launching new products such as coconut water, which nations like Thailand and Indonesia are shipping around the world. We must position Fiji's coconut industry to capture that massive market potential. Here on Bunolemu, the North's hidden paradise has been the beating heart of coconut growing for generations. We all know that. Since the first plantations were established in the 19th century, the crop has been a stalwart of Fiji's northern economy. But it's time we transform corporate production from a plantation level exercise, tap into a more diverse use of coconuts, and turn Fijian coconut growing into the full-fledged industry it's capable of becoming. The first step is achieving the commercial scale. We need to be competitive.
Today, this new production facility is granting a glimpse of the future of Fijian copra industry. Instead of supplying copra, farmers are supplying whole coconuts. These coconuts are hygienically dehusked, deshelled and refined to produce the high-quality, chemical-free Fiji coconut cooking oil.
What basically the board and management decided that almost $20 million of oil is imported in the country for cooking. And as such, the best thing to do is this cooking oil. Totally naturally processed by Fiji coconut millers that will go right into the pots. This is the one our moms, our grandmoms either continue to do in the village or we used to have it in 70s and 80s at home. That aroma, that smell, that cooking taste, we bring it back to the people of Fiji.
The Fijian Prime Minister's tour of the northern divisions comes as Fiji reels from the impacts of the COVID-19 crisis, when businesses were closed for weeks, communities were on lockdown, and thousands lost their jobs with movement restrictions put in place.
There's no doubt we're living through a period of great uncertainty as COVID-19 continues to ravage countries around the world. While Fiji's decisive actions spared us any loss of life from the virus, major sectors like tourism have taken a massive hit, and global supply chains have suffered from restrictions and falling consumer spending. But history has taught us that new companies and even entire industries often rise from the ashes of economic crisis to seize on emerging opportunities. So through the difficult months ahead, we should not be deterred from the vision of this industry. Our farmers should keep planting palms. The board of Fiji coconut millers must keep innovating, and we must continue building this new brand by producing high-quality products for the local market and markets far beyond our shores.